I didn't lose her all at once. That's the part people don't talk about. There was no single moment, no dramatic goodbye, no slammed doors, just a slow shift. So quiet I almost convinced myself nothing was changing. The last morning we woke up together, nothing felt wrong. That's what scares me now. She was still there. Her coffee mug still on the counter, her hair tied up the way she did when she was thinking too much. She smiled at me. Not a forced one, a real one. And I remember thinking, we're fine. We weren't. I left the apartment before she did. I always did. Work gave me structure. Deadlines gave me an excuse not to look too closely at my own life. I kissed her on the cheek, not her lips. That detail matters more than I realized then. All day, something followed me. Not anxiety, not fear, awareness. Like noticing a quiet sound only after everything else goes silent. We hadn't fought in weeks. That was the problem. When we used to argue, it meant we still wanted something from each other. Lately, we just updated each other. Who would be late? What needed groceries? Which bill got paid? Efficient, polite, empty. That evening, she didn't ask how my day was. She already knew. I'd told her earlier, briefly, like a report. She nodded. I sat down across from her, scrolling through my phone, pretending to read something important. She watched me. I could feel it. "Can I ask you something?" she said. Those words always mean the same thing. Something has been sitting in someone's chest too long. "Sure," I said. She hesitated. That pause, it was heavier than the question itself. "Do you still see a future with me?" she asked. Not. "Do you love me?" Not. "Are you happy?" Future. That word landed hard. I didn't answer right away, not because I didn't care, because I was trying to be honest without being cruel. I'd learned how dangerous that balance can be. "I don't know," I finally said. It sounded softer out loud than it felt inside. She didn't react. No tears, no anger. That scared me more than any argument ever did. She nodded slowly, like she'd already heard that answer before. Just not from me. "Okay," she said. One word. Calm, controlled, final. That night, we slept on the same bed. Not close, not far, just separate. I stared at the ceiling while she faced the wall. Between us was a space filled with things we never said out loud. I thought about reaching for her. I didn't. I told myself there would be time tomorrow. There always is. Until there isn't. The next few days passed normally, too normally. We laughed at something on TV. We shared meals. We talked about plans that didn't include us. I noticed she stopped leaving her jacket on the chair, stopped leaving books half read. She was closing chapters quietly. One evening, I came home and saw her suitcase by the door, not packed, just present, a reminder. "I'm not leaving today," she said quickly, noticing my eyes. I just needed to know where it was. That sentence stayed with me. She needed to know where the exit was. That night, I asked her a question I should have asked months earlier. "Are you still happy here?" She didn't answer immediately. She never rushed honesty. "I'm okay," she said. Then she added softer, "But I don't think okay is enough anymore." That was the moment something inside me shifted. Not panic, not desperation, recognition. I realized I wasn't losing her because I didn't love her. I was losing her because I didn't choose her. Not clearly, not out loud, not in ways that mattered. And the worst part? She wasn't angry. She was already preparing to let go. I didn't know it then, but that was the beginning. Not of the break after that. Not because of fear, because my mind wouldn't stop negotiating with itself. I kept replaying her words. "I don't think okay is enough anymore." I told myself she didn't mean now. She meant eventually. People always do. The next morning, she was already dressed when I woke up. Hair done, shoes on. She looked ready, not excited, prepared. That distinction matters. "I'm meeting Claire after work," she said. No explanation, no apology, just information. I nodded. I was good at nodding. At work, I tried to focus. Emails, meetings, small victories that used to make me feel accomplished. They didn't. Every task felt like something I was doing instead of making a decision. At lunch, I opened my phone, typed her name, closed it. What would I even say? I'm thinking about us felt too late. I don't want to lose you felt selfish. I'd never learned how to speak urgency without sounding weak. When I got home that evening, the apartment felt different, not emptier, more intentional. Her things were still there, but organized, like someone planning a transition, not an escape. She came in an hour later, smiling politely. "How was your day?" she asked. The question felt ceremonial. "Do you want to talk?" I asked. She stopped, not defensive, not surprised, just still. "About what?" she asked gently. That's when I realized how far apart we already were. I didn't even know how to name the conversation. "About us," I said. She nodded, sat down across from me, hands folded, listening. She was already in a different role, not a partner, a witness. "I feel like I'm always one step behind you," I said. "The truth, finally. You've already processed things I'm just starting to notice." She didn't interrupt. That hurt more than being corrected. "I didn't want to rush you," she said, "and I didn't want to pressure you into choosing a life you weren't sure about." That sentence landed heavy, because it was fair. "I thought time was on my side," I said. She smiled sadly. "It usually feels that way," she replied, "until it doesn't." We sat in silence, the kind that doesn't ask to be filled. "I need clarity," she finally said. "Not promises, not passion speeches, just clarity." I wanted to say yes. I wanted to say I choose you. But honesty stopped me again. Because choosing her meant changing parts of my life I wasn't ready to examine yet. And she deserved more than half decisions. "I'm trying," I said. She nodded. "I know," she replied. "That's why this is so hard." That night, she didn't sleep next to me. Not angrily. Deliberately. I lay there, staring at the doorframe, realizing something uncomfortable. Love wasn't the problem. Fear was. Fear of committing to a version of myself I hadn't fully accepted yet. The next few days were quiet, not cold, measured. We moved around each other carefully, like people packing fragile items. One afternoon, she asked me something unexpected. "Can you imagine your life without me?" she asked. I didn't answer, because I could. That scared me. "And can you imagine choosing me, fully, without resentment later?" she added. That question hurt more, because I didn't know. "I don't want to be the woman you stay with because leaving feels worse," she said. "I want to be chosen." That night, I went for a walk alone. No destination, just movement. I realized something painful and clear. I'd been living like decisions could be postponed indefinitely, as if life would pause politely until I felt ready. But readiness doesn't arrive on its own. It's built or avoided. When I came back, her bedroom door was closed. I stood there for a long moment, hand hovering, heart loud. I didn't knock. Not yet, because I knew what came next would change everything, one way or another. I stood outside, and I wasn't sure longer than I should have, listening to nothing. That was the problem. There was no crying, no pacing, no sign she was struggling the way I was. She had already made peace with the waiting, and that hurt more than anger ever could. I knocked, softly, once. She opened the door, no surprise in her eyes, just openness, like she'd been ready for this conversation all along. "I don't want to talk tonight if you're not sure," she said calmly. That was her boundary, not a threat. I am sure," I said. But even as the words left my mouth, I knew they weren't complete. She studied my face, not searching for romance, searching for truth. "Sit," she said. We sat on opposite sides of the bed, not touching, space where certainty should have been. "I've been afraid of saying yes," I said, "because yes changes things." She nodded. "Yes always does." "I kept thinking I needed more time," I continued, "but I'm starting to realize something." I paused. This was the part that mattered. "I wasn't waiting for time," I said. "I was waiting for courage." Her eyes softened, but she didn't lean in. "I love you," I said. The words were steady, not desperate. I just didn't want love to force me to grow faster than I was ready. "And now?" she asked. That question carried everything. Now I understand that staying where I am is also a choice, I said, and it costs something. Silence. Then she spoke. I'm not asking you to be fearless, she said. I'm asking you to be honest, even if that honesty means losing me. I took a breath. Deep. Unavoidable. I can't promise I'll never be afraid, I said, but I can promise I won't hide from the work anymore. That was the truth. Nothing more. Nothing less. She looked at me for a long moment. Then she shook her head slightly. Not no. Not yes. Just processing. I believe you, she said, and that's why this is so hard. She stood up, walked to the window, looked out into the dark street. I've already lived inside your hesitation, she said quietly. I can't live there anymore. That sentence broke something open inside me. Not loudly, permanently. I don't want you to choose me because you're afraid to lose me, she continued. I want you to choose me because you want the life that comes with me. I stood, moved closer, still didn't touch her. I want that life, I said, even if it scares me. She turned, eyes wet but steady. Then this is what I need, she said. Action, not words. The next morning, I did something I'd been postponing for years. I made changes, real ones, the kind you can't undo quietly. I didn't do it to save us. I did it because I couldn't live in delay anymore. A week later, she watched me pack a box of my old life. Not with relief, with trust. We didn't celebrate. We didn't make promises about forever. We just moved forward, together. Months from now, this might still fail. That's the truth no one likes to admit. But for the first time, I'm not waiting for time to decide for me. I chose. And that choice didn't make me fearless. It made me present. Sometimes the bravest thing a man can do is stop asking for more time and start living inside his answer.